Hi there, everybody. This is David, and y'all know me. I love to just kind of bring you the latest news, the latest things that are going on, and the latest rumors as well that are going on. And anything that concerns Chrono Trigger is very exciting to me. This is my channel, and I love to discuss these things, discuss games that are coming on, discuss rumors of games, discuss news of games, discuss everything that there is to know about games. And we have a doozy about Chrono Trigger, and I definitely do want to tell you all about that, and I totally do think that's worth the sub as you come and you join the party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So, this actually starts a couple of days ago on February the 16th. Team Asano, they are the ones who are doing all those HD 2D games, and they are putting out tons of games and really good quality games. They put out a survey amongst Square Enix account holders only in Japan. And there's one particular set of questions right there, and it says, what Square Enix game would you like to see remade? And of those games that you do want to see remade, what format would you like them to be remade in? That means, do you want it in HD 2D? Do you want it in a pixel remaster? Do you want it in kind of that doll form like Fantasian or Dragon Quest VII Remastered? Or do you want it in like a 3D form? How do you want to see it be remade? And then also, what is the most important thing to you in a remake or a remaster? Things like new story content, new post-game content, voice acting, etc., all that good kind of stuff. So, they're talking about remakes right now, and yeah, we all know that remakes are big business with Square Enix, and they're putting out a ton of them. But how does this tie into Chrono Trigger, you're asking, David? Hey, they put out this forum, so what? We know that, they're remaking games, but what about Chrono Trigger? Well, there is a forum over on Reset Era where there is a known leaker who has leaked a bunch of stuff in the past, and he came out and he said, this is John Harker, the leaker, he goes, the Chrono stuff is already in development though, so let's ask for something else, like opening back up Triangle Strategy 2 or a legit sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics. So then somebody else responds and says, you really just went and said the quiet part out loud. And then John Harker replied, wouldn't be the first time, doubling down on the information that he provided right there. So he's saying, yes, the Chrono Trigger remake is already in development. So who's this John Harker guy? Okay, well, he has provided accurate information for over a decade, not really about RPGs though, more about Assassin's Creed. That's why I haven't really ever mentioned him, because he is revealing details about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Shadows, and everything that he talked about with Assassin's Creed was true. It all came to fruition. So if he's accurate about Assassin's Creed, why wouldn't he be accurate about Chrono Trigger? You know what I'm saying? He also put out some timeframes for the State of Plays and Nintendo Directs and things like that. And I've got to say, at this point, it would be more surprising to me if this was false. You know what I'm saying? Square Enix is doing that 3-year reset, and pretty much they are skating by on remakes and remasters. They're doing a whole bunch of them, and also the development team that did Chrono Trigger back in '95. They're getting old, they're retiring, and yeah, now is the time to do it. They're under this restructuring. The remakes and remasters are big business, and now is the time. Now, I know I can already read everybody's minds in the comments. Oh my god, all they're gonna do is screw it up. It's gonna be so terrible. I don't want a remake. No, okay, so let's pause. Let's go back a second. And I think that what you guys don't want is a Final Fantasy VII sort of remake. And I get it, believe me, I completely get it. I don't want any rewriting of history either. But let's look at some of the other remakes that they've done. Let's take Final Fantasy VII and put it to the side for just a moment before you go crying and whining in the comments section. Are you blind to the Final Fantasy Tactics remake that we just got? Or the Tactics Ogre remake that we got? Or what about Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, and 7 that were absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Another SNES game that was remade, Live Alive. You know, that one came out. What about the Trials of Mana remake? One of the best remakes I have ever seen in my entire life was the Trials of Mana remake, and then they went and they put out the Romancing Saga 2 remake by the same team. All of those remakes, fan-freaking-tastic. So everybody who's crying about, I don't want to see the remake, they're just gonna screw it up. Like, okay, yeah, that's one game. But what about the 20 other remakes that they did that were spectacular? I choose to look on the bright side, and I choose to say, okay, you know, they did a really good job with their other SNES games. They did a great job with the 3 Dragon Quest games. They did a great job with Tactics Ogre, which was SNES, Trials of Mana, SNES, Romancing Saga 2, SNES. So why would this one be any different? Then, not only that, we have, you know, Yuji Horii himself, who cannot keep his mouth closed to save his frickin' life, who was asked about a Chrono Trigger remake, and instead of just saying, no, we're not doing that, that would have been so easy for him to just be like, oh, no, you know, we're not doing Chrono Trigger. But did he say that? No. He didn't. Yuji Horii instead was like, I can't say yes or no. Please don't ask me that. Oh my gosh, if I answer this question, I'm going to get yelled at. Please, no, you're not supposed to ask me that. That's very different from just no or yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like deflection, like holy crap, you know? So it was very, very, very evasive. So something tells me that this has been going on for quite a bit of time, and now we have some confirmation from a pretty good leaker who has confirmed many things again for Assassin's Creed, and now he's pretty much confirming this. And again, Square has a good track record of remakes behind them, sans one. So let's look on the bright side here and hope that they are doing this one and that they're going to do it well. I think that they will. But now I want to ask you, what sorts of changes would you like to see in a Chrono Trigger remake? You know, do we want to see voice acting? I would love to see voice acting myself. It would be nice if they actually, you know, gave Chrono some lines, but he's a silent protagonist. I wouldn't want that to really change, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe add in a new character. Could Scala be a new character? Have her join in Zeal or something like that, you know? It would be rather a late character, but it would be really cool. And then what about, like, maybe rebalancing some other characters, like a certain princess who gets outclassed by a helmet and who can't multi-heal, who's the worst. She's your dedicated healer, but she's the worst healer in the game. Yeah, I know. What about maybe double text for Magus? Like, I understand why he doesn't have the double text, because, you know, he's evil in the synergy of the team and all that kind of stuff, but I think it would be cool. It would just be cool. I would just like to see the double text, you know what I'm saying? I just think it would be cool to add that in there. Maybe add in, like, that singing mountain. There were some cut areas on the cutting room floor of the original Chrono Trigger in the same way that there were some cut areas in the original Secret of Mana. Can those cut areas come back? Most of them were cut in the prehistoric era, and you can really tell because there isn't a whole lot going on in the prehistoric era, so maybe they will add some stuff there. So again, this is still a rumor right now. Take it with a grain of salt, but it is a rumor with a lot of truth, I think, behind it. We have Square Enix doing remake after remake after remake. We have Yuji Horii not denying it, and we have a known leaker with a great track record behind them saying, hey, this is already happening. So, yeah, super duper duper exciting. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I just like to bring y'all all the information that you need to know about RPGs and everything else. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good day.